What? You got YouTube?
Yeah. It is race morning. To be honest, I don't want to do it. I'm really not ready for the hills. It's so hilly. I need this to fix me. Sunday, day after race, and let's talk about it. It was so freaking hard. It was harder than the one I did when I was like almost 8 months pregnant. But what's so frustrating is that the first 6 miles, which are like the most difficult of the course in my opinion, were great. Just like 6 miles essentially is all uphill, and they're like gnarly hills. And I got to the 6 mile mark and I was like, oh my gosh. It's essentially like 6 miles kind of hits like right as you're about to come up 12 South. And I got there and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling great. That was like not that bad. And once I got up 12 South, that's kind of where my parents' place is. So I like get to stop and see them. And right as I got to stop and see them, shit like hit the fan. Body just like started turning on me. Stomach was like not happy. Cramp that I had the other day when I was training came back. I almost quit. My dad was like, you can stop. And I was like, I can't. I kept going. There was almost a time, like right as I hit essentially Belmont and was about to come down Music Row, that I turned around and was like, I'm done. I just gotta be done. But I didn't. I'm so glad that I pushed through. I generally only do like water throughout the race. I'm not like a fuel person in regards to like the goos or like, you know, any of the snack kind of things. I don't know, I just never have been. And I'm not really like a Gatorade kind of girl. I'm generally just water. I don't love like super sweet things. This was the first race that I took Gatorade at like 4 different stations, and it really did help me, especially with my cramp. So after that, I still had 6 more miles to go. It wasn't pretty, but we did it. It's funny because I feel like running marathons is kind of like birth, in the sense that like so hard and then your brain like tricks you into forgetting. Whenever the race was done, I looked at Zach and I was like, I'm never running again. I'm literally done. Why do I do this? Then I woke up this morning and I was like, God, I can't wait for the next one. It's so twisted. It's the most bizarre thing. It needs to be studied. Yeah, it was interesting. I went into it with the mindset of like, I just want to finish and I just want to like be proud of myself and, you know, do it. I don't know when my next one will be. I haven't decided. Knowing myself, it probably won't be too long, but I will be training for that one. I really would like to do a full marathon, but also that seems very daunting right now, especially after how like tough that one was. It was very fun. I highly recommend doing something like that, and you know, setting a goal for yourself and pushing yourself. A really great feeling. It is such a privilege to be able to move our bodies. Like, I think about that every single day. There are people that would give anything in the world to be able to move their body. Don't take it for granted. Push yourself, try something new. Want to run, do something that's going to make you better. And yeah. This is my first run back post race, post no big toenails. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. I feel like my body has recovered a little bit. It's still a little like inflamed. I think I'm like mentally ready to just kind of start running and get back into it again. Okay, the run is done. It felt pretty good, especially considering I have no toenails. Before I start Pilates, I probably have like 15 minutes before Otto gets up. Do like a quick, very quick little postpartum talk. So I am 4 months postpartum. It's been such a drastically different journey than when I was pregnant with Ace. I've gotten a lot of questions as to like why, what I did. And I wish that I could tell you there's like some perfect formula that like if you do X, Y, and Z, that you will have this exact experience. But like that's not how fitness works. That's not how bodies work. I so wish that I could tell y'all, do this and this will be the outcome, but that's not the case. I can tell you what I did and what worked for me, but it does not mean that that will be your experience. I've always been a very active person. I don't talk about it a ton, but I actually have a broken back. I've had a ton of injuries. I think I've probably broken like 20 bones. Essentially, I grew too quickly and my bones couldn't keep up, and so they would just like snap. The craziest things would happen. Like I would pick up a suitcase, my wrist would like snap in half. Crazy. When I broke my back, it was essentially like, you are going to have to work out the rest of your life or you like physically won't be able to walk. I mean, at that point I'm in 8th grade and I'm literally like, I don't know how to work out, but figured it out and started running then. Just kind of figured out not necessarily what worked for my body, because that's been a whole different journey. And so with this pregnancy, I probably went into it in the best shape that I've ever been. And not that I wasn't in good shape when I was pregnant, when I got pregnant with Ace. When I just would say my body was different in the sense that like I had finally found workouts that worked for me and my body. And with Ace, I was doing like much more HIIT style workouts, very high intensity, very high impact. And my body was definitely inflamed and not happy. This pregnancy, I'm literally only running in Pilates. I don't lift any weights. And I think that that's what my body likes. And so I think going into this pregnancy, my body was in a very good place, that the weight didn't just like pack on very early on like it did with Ace. We're also in like a global pandemic. Like there was just a lot of things going on. I was incredibly stressed. I had just opened up my first fitness studio. With this, I was in a much healthier place mentally, healthier place business-wise, a much healthier place fitness-wise. I think that all of those things combined led me to having a much different experience. But I think people don't realize how big stress plays a role in how your body reacts to things. I know that it's so much easier said than done to be like, don't stress, like no big deal. That's like, LOL, that's not how that works. I'll say just being aware that that really does play such a huge role can help. So eliminating things that, you know, aren't serving you. If you have a friend that like doesn't make you feel good about yourself, maybe take a step back and really say like, if you have a job you hate, like quit your job, don't do that. But try to find things that can kind of counterbalance that. So like if you are miserable at your job, try to find a different thing that like you can look forward to in the day that gets you through that. For me, that was running. So finding things that like bring you joy, make you feel grounded, back to like a ground zero level where you're like, okay, I can breathe, like the weight is off my chest a little bit. My biggest advice would be establish a fitness routine that like brings you joy and makes you feel good before you get pregnant, because then you keep doing that throughout your entire pregnancy. And I just think that with recovery, it plays such a huge role. It's just been such a vastly different experience postpartum. I wish I could bottle it up and give it to every person that has had a baby. I would give anything in the world, because it's been such a healing experience, especially after my last pregnancy with like postpartum depression and gaining 50 plus pounds and then having to lose all of that, especially like at that time in my life being in fitness. It was like a huge mental game. I've been talking for a very long time and I need to get some Pilates in before Otto wakes up. Huge ramble. Moral of the story: work out because you love it and because it brings such good benefits and endorphins. Life is so short. Who cares what your body looks like? It really does not matter. You're not gonna be on your deathbed being like, oh my gosh, I wish I had those 5-10 pounds off. It doesn't matter. Work out because it makes you happy and it makes you feel good and you feel strong and you feel empowered. So yeah. People know about me is that I actually went to fashion design school. I can like make full clothes. I don't do it very often anymore just because I don't have the time, but when I need to whip it out, I can. So I have this bench and I have been searching everywhere. I want this like slip cover look bench. All the ones I find aren't big enough, or they're like a bajillion dollars, and I just like don't really want to spend that much. And so I had this idea. I have a bench already. I feel like I can make a slip cover. So I had to go to the fabric store already because I got some cushions made for my closet room. So when I was there, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna pick up fabric and I'm just gonna like try to make one really quick. This is the bench. And I just essentially am gonna make like a slip cover that lays over the entire thing. I want it to look like it's like a box, kind of. I thought I could kind of show y'all how I'm doing it. So the length of my bench is really long. It is like 106 and a half. And I don't want it to be super snug. So with seam allowance and all that, I think I'm gonna do 107 and a half. And the width of it is 16. And I think I'm gonna do, that's where there's a cushion on top, and I wanna keep the cushion on top because I kind of want it to look like it's a cushioned bench. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do 16 and a half for the width. This is the fabric, so just like a nice like neutral linen-y look. I guess let's cut our first piece. I think I have like quite literally just the right amount of fabric. I cut the top and then I was going to measure the sides, and I was like, I think I'm actually going to have to, in order to have enough, I think I'm gonna have to take off the cushion, which is fine, not that big of a deal. But they like only had this amount of fabric. So like I went in planning on getting 6 yards just to be safe. And I was like, okay, whatever I have left, I can like make some pillows with it. And then she was like, we only have 4. And I was like, okay. Fabric is cut. And now we are going to sew. I have like 30 minutes till Otto gets up. I think that I'm gonna sew it all together and then I'm gonna hem it tonight. I didn't finish it last night. We are back at it again during Otto's nap again. Got about 45 minutes to sew this all together. I also just ate a chocolate croissant. I am terrified I have chocolate all over me. Got to touch all this linen. Jesus, take the wheel. One side is sewn, I'm gonna do the other one. Okay, hi. Going to finish the bench today. Hem it and then I'm done. Okay, it is done. And I'm obsessed. Exactly what I wanted. I still need to probably iron it or steam it, but I'm gonna let it like sit for a second. Linen, you have to be kind of careful with heat and all that kind of stuff because it can shrink, it can grow. So I want to kind of let it sit, see if like any of the wrinkles just naturally kind of lay out. I love it. The fabric cost me $100 as opposed to like looking at some of these benches online. They were like thousands of dollars. Yeah, exactly what I wanted. Yep. So one of the questions that I get pretty often is like how I shoot or like what I use, what are my most used products. Like a lot of people have questions when it comes to like creating content and what people are using. Doing this now for like 2 years, and I think that I finally figured out what works for me and what I really like. And so I thought I could kind of show you what are like my favorite products. This is like unrelated, but I did just get this bag. This company sent it to me. I generally don't accept any gifting. I just like don't really believe in like overconsumption, getting all of these products that I don't need or don't want really. And so I generally don't accept a lot of gifting. This company reached out to my management. I like needed a bag that could carry all of my work stuff, and I love it. I love their bags. I think the quality is really fantastic. How picky I am about a bag, and I generally don't venture from what I know. I think it's stunning. It's like this chocolate brown. Brand is called Vistursi. I'm obsessed with it. It carries all of my things. My laptop fits in it, which is super nice. It's the perfect size. So back to what I was talking about. Content, creating content, some of the things I use every single day. I did just have to get a new laptop. I had a really old one, and in order to edit for YouTube, I had to get a new one, which was super unfortunate, but I do love it. Then I've got a bunch of different cameras. So I've got my Canon G7X. It's like, I feel like everyone has it, but it really is fantastic. I have this cute little like camcorder. I think I linked it on my Instagram. It's on my like to know it. It is the cutest little thing ever. I'm obsessed with it. I love shooting with it. I think the content turns out so fun. It's like 60 bucks, so like highly recommend that one. When it comes to tripods, I have this one which holds my like camera, my point and shoot. This one also does too, but this one goes like really tall, so just depending on different heights. My dad actually stole my AirPod case. Like my dad dropped me off at all my races because I hate crowds. I've got like crazy social anxiety. I make him walk me there and quite literally stay with me until I take off. But so I handed him like my headphone case and he just forgot to give it back to me, and he's back at the lake, so I don't have it right now. So I have Zach's headphones. I hate them. They're terrible. They don't stay in my ears. I need them especially because like I don't sleep great. I'll be up at like 3 a.m. editing, and so I have to put these in. I have just like my converter for my memory card. I have like one of these little sticky things. I don't use it a ton, but it's kind of nice when you do have, when you need it. A charger for my camera. I kept my old phone. Edit something, but I'm also doing something else on my phone. It's just kind of nice to have both of them. That's like not a need by any means. It was just like I could trade it in for $200 or I could keep it, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep it. That's it. I don't really love, I know a lot of people love like the certain lights and all the things. I think that like for me, it always looked very like overproduced or not natural, and I just don't really love that. Well, I generally try to like find natural light or adjust the settings on my camera, or I just don't like the look of like overproduced lighting. When I first started, I used it, and looking back at like my old content, I'm like, oh, I hate that. I have a tripod that's holding my phone right now just because I'm filming on my phone so I could show you all my camera. But those are like my things. Like, really, all you need is a tripod and an iPhone. These are some of my other items that I really love and I use quite literally every single day. Definitely like recommend getting like the big headphones, Apple headphones. My only like reason I might not is because they're noise canceling. I need to be able to hear if like the baby's crying. I wouldn't run with them because I don't think it's safe to be completely noise canceled. I need to be able to hear like someone's coming up behind me or something crazy. For situations where it's like just me, I need to focus, they would be kind of nice. Potentially getting a different vlog camera, but I'm like in no hurry to kind of do that. But those are two different things that I'm kind of maybe eventually. Yeah, those are things that I love. Let's get dressed for the day. Today, I just want to be comfy. I have to run a bunch of errands, and then I told Ace that I would pick him up early from school. I just want to be like comfy, still kind of cute and put together. I think I really want to wear my fringe suede vintage jacket. Let's start there. Okay, found her at a vintage shop. In a perfect world, I would wear my vintage Ralph Lauren fringe pants with it and like a black tank. I'm like, should I? Yeah, I feel like I should. Obsessed with these. Love. We're just gonna do my tried and true Capernis. These are like my everyday go-to shoe. I probably need to purchase a new pair because these ones are like literally beat up. Let's put my jewelry on, and then I'm gonna have to lower the camera so y'all can see the whole outfit. I'm gonna move this so y'all can see the full outfit. Favorite thing to purchase lately has been vintage clothes. I think it's because I love finding them, I love sourcing them. I love that they have so much character to them. If you don't shop vintage, I think I'm actually gonna start doing a vintage roundup where like once a week I post all the vintage that I found that I didn't buy because I love vintage so much. And essentially this whole outfit is vintage. I'm gonna go pick up Ace Man. But thank you so much for watching. Y'all already know it means the world to me, and I will see y'all next week. We've got some fun things coming, so